we are going to talk about why and how to plan whole plant-based meals. Now, this is just a guide, especially for people who do not have any autoimmune diseases or chronic degenerative diseases that need special type of planning. But this generally applies to most people who want to maintain a healthy diet. So why whole plant foods helpful? They are low in fats, especially in saturated fats. They do not have any cholesterol. They are high in nutrients. They are high in fiber, and they are high in phytochemicals. And they can also be prebiotics in that they improve our gut microbiome by feeding the good or friendly bacteria, which then in turn protect us. They are also anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is the body's reaction to harm or injury or toxins, and most diseases are inflammatory processes. They are also high in antioxidants, which help to mitigate oxidative stress. And they are low in calories, which help people to maintain ideal body weight. And they are more colorful, more different textures, aromas that make them more attractive and desirable. Okay? Now we compare caloric density using the same number of calories. If you have 500 calories of oil, it fills your stomach only a little bit. Okay? If it's cheese, a little more. If it's meat, a little more than the cheese. Potatoes, rice, beans, starchy foods will fill your stomach about almost full. But when you eat fruits and veggies, they will fill you to the full without filling you out. So you are satisfied and you do not feel hungry, and that satisfaction can last you till the next meal. Okay? So we want to plan our meals so that it's balanced, so that we have the different food groups, and we can enjoy better health as a result. Okay? So if we plan our meals well based on whole plant foods, they help with the prevention as well as treatment of diseases. They help lower heart disease, lower type 2 diabetes, even help people with pre-diabetes to be back to normal in their blood sugar control, help people to lose weight, help to decrease inflammation, help to fight cancer, and slow and prevent cognitive decline such as Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Okay? They also make for longer quality life, and they are usually less costly than foods that include meat and animal products. And they're better for the environment in the sense that it takes less food, less water, less energy to raise crops to be eaten directly by people than to feed them to animals and then directly from the animals to the humans, which cause a lot of loss. Okay, so this is based on a research study that came up with this conclusion. They say this data suggests that plant-based diets may be a practical solution to prevent and treat chronic disease. Okay, a plant-based diet can help both prevent and treat plant-based chronic degenerative diseases. Okay, so whole plant food diet would emphasize whole, minimally processed foods, meaning as unrefined as possible. They will avoid products such as eggs and dairy products, like sugars, processed oils, refined flours. Okay? And they avoid stimulants such as caffeine, alcohol, and hot and irritating spices. And they pay attention to food quality, promoting local, seasonal, organic foods whenever possible. Now, even if you cannot afford organic foods, what you can do is you can use activated charcoal powder and take a teaspoon of it, put into a basin of water, and soak your fruits or vegetables in that basin of charcoal water for about 10 minutes, and then rinse it off, and that way you can get rid of a lot of pesticides or other contaminants. So this is a food that shows that at the base, which is the largest area, is what we should eat large. And that would be your fruits and vegetables. In other words, we should have mostly fruits and vegetables in our diet. The next level up would be those foods such as whole grains, okay, that sustain you, and especially for growing people who need more energy or for more active, it's more sustaining. The third level, you will have your green leafy vegetables and your legumes. All right, we emphasize eating green leafy vegetables as much as possible on a daily basis. And legumes are also very nutritious foods. We would want to incorporate them in our diet as much as possible on a daily basis too. Okay, and for foods that are high in fat, we prefer to use the more natural, unrefined fats, avocado, olives, nuts, seeds, okay, to give us those good fats that we need. So if you look here, you have sample plates of whole plant foods, okay? You have the grains, you have the beans, and you have the veggies. So usually the veggies would take up about half the plate. Okay? You could actually have green leafy on 1/4 part of the plate, and the other quarter part could be a vegetable salad. And I have a whole grain and a bean, and that it would be a very good lunch meal or vegetable meal. We do not eat fruits and vegetables at the same meal. Okay. So there is this guide that you can find in the internet to refer to as to what the different food groups are and how to plan them. Okay, so we focus on nutrient-rich foods. These are the different food groups. Fruits is one food group. So we want to eat citrus fruits. Not necessarily all kinds of fruits in one meal, of course, impossible, and too much. You just maybe eat about 3 kinds of fruits a day. That should be sufficient. Okay, 3 to 4 is fine. Citrus would include things like your oranges, your grapefruit, your pomelo, etc. Berries are very nutritious foods. You have blueberries, mulberries, strawberries, gooseberries, and raspberries, blackberries, etc. Okay, apples are also an excellent fruit. Papaya also. Papaya, it seems, helps build collagen. And one thing I know from having been to Bolivia, where there was this farmer who planted papaya for his income, and when he has harvested the fruit, he cannot grow papaya again the next round because the papaya plant has suck up a lot of nutrients. So when I heard this, I told myself, wow, the papaya plant must be very nutritious. Okay, nuts is another food group. Walnuts, almonds, cashews, pistachio, Brazil nuts, etc. Okay, seeds are also very nutritious. Flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds are the more common types. Green leafy vegetables, these are those that have dark green leaves, especially, and can be eaten raw or cooked. Raw ones usually will be in the form of lettuce or baby spinach, okay, or arugula, or rocket. Otherwise, some green leafy vegetables really are hard to be eaten raw. You have to cook them, okay? Then we want to emphasize cruciferous vegetables also, although you do not need to eat them on a daily basis, but you can rotate and eat them like 3 to 5 times a week. So these cruciferous vegetables would include broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, etc. Legumes are the dried beans that need a lot of soaking, most of them except for the lentils, which can be soaked too. Actually, it is good to soak beans, even lentils, and they may need longer time to cook. If you have a pressure cooker, they will shorten your cooking time. Okay, whole grains such as quinoa, buckwheat, brown rice, red rice, black rice, whole wheat, barley, etc. Okay, so for those who want to lose weight, they would want to be careful not to overeat nuts and seeds or starchy vegetables and whole grains. They would want to eat more of the lower calories foods, such as green leafies and other vegetables that are not starchy, okay, and fruits and beans. We want to choose unprocessed whole foods. Okay? They have a lot more fiber, which helps to fill you so that you do not overeat. Okay, so beans are excellent because they are, of all the food groups, the highest in terms of number of amount of fiber per serving. Okay, about 8 grams per serving. We eat whole grains also because of all the different nutrients that are found in the bran and the germ besides the endosperm part of the kernel. Okay, we choose to eat avocado and olives as our fat instead of using refined oils when we want to lose weight. We limit the amount of oils we use. You can do a lot of cooking without oil too. If not just for losing weight, but sometimes in certain disease, we may want to do that too. Okay, so this is a guide how to plan your meals. So some people take only 2 meals a day, others take 3 meals a day, and 3 meals is sufficient for a day. We do not encourage any eating between meals or snacking. Okay, we make breakfast the largest meal of the day simply because we have rested the night before, the body is ready to work, and also that foods are better digested and less calories absorbed as a result. I mean that because you will burn the food for energy from the start of the day, so it's not likely to be stored, okay, from breakfast. We as much as possible, try to encourage eating 2 meals a day, especially for adults who are not underweight, okay, or who are not type 1 diabetic. Even type 1 diabetic, it is possible to be on 2 meals a day. But when people who need a third meal, we say that it is best that third meal be the lightest, and one of the easiest things to do is just eat fruits for dinner, okay? So you can have a breakfast of cooked oats with different fruits as a topping, a soy milk over it, and that is a very nutritious breakfast. You can have a lunch meal with lots of colorful vegetables, grains, beans, and so on. And the dinner is the smallest amount. Okay, so for whole grains, we would say to take a minimum of 3 servings a day. We'll explain what a serving size is later. Fruits, about 3 or at least 3 servings a day. Vegetables, 4 to 5 servings a day. Beans or legumes, 2 servings a day. Nuts, 1 serving, at least 5 days a week. Seeds, 1 to 2 servings a day. Okay, and especially flax meal or flaxseed that has been ground. We encourage that adult men and premenopausal women take 2 tablespoons of flax meal a day, and postmenopausal women 3 tablespoons of flax meal a day. So what is 1 serving? For whole grains, half a cup of cooked cereal is 1 serving. If it's a slice of whole wheat bread, it's 1 serving. Granola, because it is more concentrated, it's baked instead of being cooked with water, so just 1/4 cup is 1 serving. Okay? For fruits, 1 medium whole fruit like apple or orange or pear is 1 serving. If it's a sliced fruit like papaya or honeydew or cantaloupe or rock melon, then a typical slice that is sold at the fruit store, that would be 1 serving. Okay. For vegetables, if it's a salad, it's 1 cup, is 1 serving. If it's cooked down, so half a cup is 1 serving. For beans and legumes, 1 serving is also half a cup cooked. All right, and nuts and seeds though, 1 serving is just 1/4 cup. All right, or 1 ounce, you may say. Most of the time, it's too much trouble to use weighing scale to measure. So we would say 1/4 cup of nuts or 1/4 cup of seeds would be 1 serving. So why do we emphasize whole grains? These are the reasons. They help to reduce the risk of the heart disease, type 2 diabetes, digestive problems, as well as stroke, okay, as well as cancer. This I know is a very detailed chart, but you need not know all those details, but just note that whole grains impact your large bowel health. In other words, help you not to get constipated, help promote good friendly bacteria. They also help you with regulating your weight or keeping to ideal body weight. They lower type 2 diabetes, they lower cancer. They also help with your bone health, with your mental health too, as well as with lowering heart disease. Okay? Then the fruit groups, what do fruits do? They benefit our immune system. They have a lot of phytochemicals. They help also fight cancer. They also help with weight control, because most fruits are high in water content. So you feel full, okay? Although they are sweet, they are not super sweet, and they also have fiber, so that you feel full without overeating. They're also important to our brain, for our brain health, for our cardiovascular or heart and blood vessel health, and for digestive health too. Okay, blueberries have been shown to improve memory when eaten at least 3 times per week. Okay, of course you have to also work at memorizing. If you do not put in the effort to memorize, it will not work. Okay, The potassium in fruits also help with information transmission from nerve to nerve, and bananas are good source of potassium. Many other fruits and vegetables are also high in potassium. Avocados have a lot of monounsaturated fat and omega-3 fatty acids, so they are associated with decreased anxiety and decreased depression. Okay. Fruits boost your immune system to fight infections. Cranberries help prevent urinary tract infections, while the vitamin A in papaya, grapefruit, mangoes, these yellow, orange, red colored fruits can fight flu and fight the common cold. Okay, so excessive free radical production, inflammation, and that can lead to a lot of inflammatory diseases like arthritis. And when we eat foods high in vitamin C, which are found in citrus fruits, they can help reverse this process. Okay, berries provide a lot of antioxidants. Raspberries, blueberries, strawberries really help reduce the risk of breast and colon cancers. Vitamin C-rich foods prevent DNA damage by free radicals from occurring, and these are especially found in oranges, kiwi fruits, and guava. By the way, kiwi fruit, the green one, is also good for your bone health. And it seems to also help with promoting good sleep. Okay. Fruit and cardiovascular health. So red grapes has this phytochemical resveratrol, and they help protect the heart and blood vessels, and they lower the LDL cholesterol, they lower high blood pressure. Oxidative stress in the blood vessels can lead to plaque formation, which can cause heart attack and stroke. So fruits like cranberries have antioxidants specifically that block oxidative stress in the arteries. Most fruits are a good source of fiber, which helps you feel full and are low in calories. Okay. Raspberries, in particular, contain nutrients that increases cellular metabolism rates. In other words, help you to burn your energy. So it helps you to burn fat at a greater rate, helping with weight control. Fruits also contain insoluble fiber that promotes regular bowel movement, so preventing constipation. Apples and bananas, gut, so that they overpower the bad bacteria that can cause harm, okay, or digestive issues. Now to the vegetable food group. So vegetables have vitamins, minerals, fiber, phytochemicals, and protective compounds such as folate, folic acid, vitamin C, potassium, beta-carotene, all of which contribute to health. They protect against chronic diseases, the typical heart disease, stroke, cancer, obesity, diabetes, etc. Okay, they lower blood pressure, they lower blood cholesterol, and help maintain healthy weight. Green leafy vegetables, I told you I was going to tell you why this is such an important food group to eat on a daily basis. They are loaded with vitamins and minerals, especially calcium, iron, folate, potassium, vitamin C. All these are important, especially the iron and folate for building your red blood cells. Okay? Potassium for lowering your high blood pressure if you have that. For your calcium, for your bones. Okay, vitamin C is also needed for good skin health, for your gums, and many other reasons as antioxidants. Green leafy vegetables are high in fiber, so that's important for bowel movement. They have certain phytochemicals called lutein that are important for your vision, okay, for your eye health. They lower macular degeneration. They enhance skin health and protect against UV radiation. Okay, when we are out in the sunlight at noon or close to noon, where UVB is at the highest intensity, you can use a hat to protect you, or if you are used to eating lots of green leafies, vitamin C foods, you are protected. Okay? And green leafies also boost the immune system and lowers risk of cancer. In fact, actually, by eating green leafies and other vegetables that are green, they can actually help you to make CoQ10 also in your body, or activate the inactive form of CoQ10. Okay? So increased consumption of fruits and vegetables of at least 4 servings compared to those who eat 2 servings a day. I find that those more have increased antibody production to pneumonia vaccination. Okay, legumes. Legumes are known to lengthen our lifespan. They lower cholesterol. They provide satiety of sense of fullness. They lower blood sugar. They are rich in potassium, copper, phosphorus, manganese, iron, magnesium. There's many different kinds of minerals, as well as various vitamins, especially the B vitamins. Okay, and they are not, they don't have much sodium, much fat. They are good source of protein. And they are also rich in both soluble and insoluble fiber. So most pulses, beans, all right, score low on the glycemic index. So this helps people with diabetes and obesity. And they reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. Nuts are also very nutritious. They can reduce disease. They can help with better weight control. They reduce risk of some cancers, or even dying from cancer. They reduce risk of developing type 2 diabetes. They improve the management of type 2 diabetes. They are good for your gut-friendly bacteria. They help promote better brain function, and they reduce risk of depression. They improve fertility, and they reduce risk of death from all causes. The risk of death from all causes. So nuts are really important food, but we do not need to eat too much quantity of nuts. All right, many different kinds of nuts. Yeah, we want to choose those that have more monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which is what nuts contain. They do not contain much of the saturated fats. Okay? And they contain these plant sterols or lipid that, like phytochemicals that are protective and keep our blood vessels smooth and healthy. Okay? Polyphenols too. They are high in dietary fiber. They have plant protein. They have many kinds of minerals, such as magnesium, iron, zinc. They are rich in vitamins, B1, folate, and niacin, B3. They have antioxidants, such as vitamin E and selenium. And they are also have high omega-3 fats. Okay, so those are the nut family. We come to the seeds. All right. Plants to grow, most plants grow from seeds. So that tells you that the seed is the source of the growth of the plant, which means that it has to be very nutritious, right? And like nuts, seeds also contain healthy fats. They are packed with fiber also. They also can have complete plant-based protein, and they enhance immunity. They provide minerals for bone health, and they are also very delicious, and they have some of them selenium, this mineral, especially found in sunflower seeds, besides Brazil nuts, that help us to produce new immune cells and to help strengthen our response to infection. Zinc, especially in pumpkin seeds, helps produce new immune cells and develop natural killer cells to fight viruses. Okay, zinc is also important to help us have appetite. Okay, so if a person does not have good appetite, it's good for them to eat foods that are rich in zinc. And something about pumpkin seed is it also has a certain essential amino acid that helps build muscles. Copper, especially in sesame seeds, can protect and fuel immune cells. Okay? Folate is important to produce new immune cells, and they are found in sunflower seeds, in sesame seeds, and in flax seeds. Vitamin B6 help produce new immune cells. So you see quite a number of different vitamins and minerals are involved with the production of new immune cells. Okay? With making antibodies, with making NK cells, killer T cells, and so on. And vitamin B6 is especially found in sesame seeds. So we highlight flaxseed in particular. Okay, we will eat them in the form of flax meal. That means they have been ground into powder. High in omega-3 fats. They help fight cancer, anti-inflammatory. Okay, they have these lignans, which act as antioxidants and guard against cell damage and inflammation. Boost our heart health, reducing blood pressure and cholesterol. Okay, they control blood sugar, so reduce insulin resistance, so they are important for treating diabetes. They help with weight loss. They contain insoluble fiber, which helps relieve constipation. We actually need both the soluble and insoluble fiber to have good bowel movement. Okay? And imagine that flaxseed is also good for reducing menopause symptoms, and they improve digestion. Now, for people who are long-term whole plant food eaters or on whole plant food diet, we recommend that they take vitamin B12 source on a regular basis. Although vitamin B12 has a long half-life, but they are not made by the body. Actually, they are made by bacteria. And the reason that meat and animal products has them is because they have more bacteria in them. But as total vegetarians, we would get them in a form of supplements, unless we can find them, and we do use them in certain fortified foods, such as certain soy milk or other type of vegan milk, nut milk and grain milk, rice milk, oat milk, or they are found in certain cereals, breakfast cereals. Okay, you have to read. But what you can do is check your blood test do your blood test for your vitamin B12 level to know if you are within normal range. Because vitamin B12 is a very, the deficiency of it is very serious. It causes pernicious anemia, and so it is irreversible nerve damage. We don't want to have that happen to us. Okay. Now, certain nutritional yeast flakes, certain brands like Red Star have vitamin B12 fortified in them. Okay. Taking some B12 supplement on a regular basis. Or you can take them on a weekly basis, providing about 2,000 microgram per week. Okay, this is just a sample of what a good breakfast meal would be like. You can have oats cooked savory, need not always be cooked in a sweet way. You can cook it with garlic, onions, mushrooms, carrots, soybeans, or other things to make it tasty. Okay, we eat fruits like orange, apple, papaya. So you have your citrus, you have your yellow, orange, red colored papaya. And then you can take a soy milk or other plant milks and put your flaxseed or chia seeds in them. Okay, have a little nuts, or if you eat whole wheat bread, you can use a nut butter to spread on the bread. Okay, and you can also top up your cereals with some kind of seeds. Lunch meal, we encourage eating a whole grain, so Chinese people usually eat rice. A lot of Asians tend to like rice. We want to encourage varying your grains from day to day. It's okay to eat rice on a daily basis, but we would want to suggest that you eat another kind of grain in another meal of the day. So at least 2 kinds of grains per day. Okay. Your legumes, so like black eyed pea is easy to cook type of legume. 1 cup would be like 2 servings already. So half to 1 cup of green leafy vegetables, half cup of ladyfinger is another type of vegetable, and then a vegetable salad with half tablespoon salad dressing. And that would be a very complete, balanced lunch. Okay, and colorful too. All right, so we've come to the end of this PowerPoint presentation, and now we are going to on certain types of foods to highlight to you why we encourage eating this kind of foods. So earlier we talked about serving size. I have here standard measuring cups. Okay, so this is 1 cup, and 1 cup is the amount of things like your vegetable salad to equal 1 serving. For most cooked foods, whether it's cooked grains or cooked beans or cooked vegetables, half a cup is 1 serving. Okay, and then for nuts and seeds, we use a 1/4 cup as 1 serving. Okay, we like to use limes and green lemons or green limes, and this kind of citrus fruits to make salad dressings with, because they are more nutritious and they are not harmful like vinegar. Okay, we do not use vinegar to make salad dressings. Most commercial salad dressings have vinegar in them. So we make our own using these kind of fruits. You can also use oranges or other tart or sour tasting fruits. Okay, then we also want to encourage using things like dates or honey as our sweetener, because it need not be expensive, but pure honey is good. And there are different kinds of dates besides the Middle Eastern types that are especially good to buy right after the Hari Raya Puasa, where price usually go down. We said earlier also that flaxseed is, they can come as yellow flax seeds, since the yellow ones. And remember that you have to grind them into powder like this. So this amount here of flax meal is actually 2 tablespoons, which is the amount suggested for men to eat or premenopausal women to eat. If you are menopausal, you would want to add another additional tablespoon of flax meal on a daily basis, okay? We talk about seeds being super nutritious. Sunflower seeds, they can be eaten as they are or incorporated into patties, burgers, salad dressings, etc. This is white sesame seed. Okay, we also have black. The black sesame seeds have more calcium than the white ones. They are very nutritious, very high in calcium. Okay, and then you have the pumpkin seeds here. Okay, so there are also the chia seeds and the flax seeds. If you want, you can actually grind 1 cup of flax seed, 1/3 cup of pumpkin seed, 1/3 cup of sunflower seed, and 1/3 cup of sesame seed together into a seed blend, and then put it in your fridge and take 2 tablespoons a day. So this way you can incorporate the variety. Many kinds of nuts, we especially like to use walnuts because of it having more omega-3. And there's these Brazil nuts that just 2 Brazil nuts a day is enough to meet your need for selenium. So this is a very good nut to use. You can also bake it and make a nut butter with it and use it as a substitute for oil when you make cakes or muffins. Okay? Many kinds of beans, I just have a few samples here. So this is green lentils. If the skin were removed, then you have the red inside here, which cooks faster. But generally, all kinds of lentils cook faster than the other types of beans. Here we have garbanzo or chickpeas. Okay, this is also a cancer fighter and helps with the immune system. All right, it helps prevent cancer growth. This is red beans or azuki beans. This one is edamame, which is a soybean that you can buy fresh, and then you have to cook, or frozen, which you just heat up shortly. This is also very nutritious food, very high in flavonoids, very good, even omega-3, and good for your bones, high in calcium, help protect the heart, lowers cholesterol, lowers blood pressure, and so on. This is very good also for women going through menopause. Here is white kidney beans, or there are white beans also. You have black beans here. They make very good stews and burgers. Then you have pinto beans. Pinto beans is usually what we use to make what we call chili beans. It's called chili beans. It's a Mexican type of dish. Okay, so these are various beans because most people do not eat this kind of beans. Most local people here would use beans in the form of sweet green bean soup or sweet red bean soup, but you can cook them savory. Yeah, especially in our hot, sunny climate, we want to use sugar much less frequently and much less in amount. So we try to learn to cook more savory foods. All right, and then now we come to the grains. So this is millet. They have both the sweet millet as well as regular millet. Sweet millet is why it's sticky. It can be used for making your rice dumpling or sushi rice or things like that that you want to stick together. Okay, and then here is buckwheat. Buckwheat is a pseudo grain. It is very, very high in soluble fiber, and it is also very good for people who maybe have some food allergies or food intolerance to certain other grains. So especially buckwheat and quinoa are used in autoimmune disease plan for a start, especially for the first week or so, because they are not known to be intolerable. Most people can handle buckwheat and quinoa. Millet also is supposed to be easier to digest, but this buckwheat, quinoa, and amaranth are the easiest grains to handle. None I have here, steel cut oats. Now raw oats is still a whole unrefined oats that have been rolled, so they take less length of time to cook. But steel cut oats is like the whole oat growth that has been cut by steel blades, that because they take a little longer to cook, they have more fiber and lower glycemic index. Of course, the whole oat growth, and you can buy them and cook them. But if you use the whole oat growth, you really should soak it overnight before you cook it the next day. So the idea is that if the grain is as intact as possible and as natural as possible as when it's harvested from the grain itself, the whole plant, yeah, then that is where you get the whole goodness of it. It takes longer to cook, then it fills you up more. It's very good if you want to lose weight or if you have diabetes. We do not foods, especially for people with diabetes, but it also will be good for anybody else with or without any health conditions. So if you remember all these tips and try to vary your diet from day to day, meal to meal, and so on, week to week, you will enjoy a great array of different nutrients and different protective factors that are found in these plant foods. That's what God has given us from the beginning as our ideal diet, okay, plant food, whole plant foods. Okay, thank you.